Look around in any house today. You'll probably see a kid scrolling through a phone or a tablet. In fact, most kids now spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day on screens in one go. We know it's not great for them, but what exactly does all this screen time do? In this video, we will discuss how excessive screen time affects your kids at different ages. Depending on your kid's age, you can check out the timeline of this video, 0 to 5 years. This is the age when kids learn to talk, process emotions, and understand the world around them. You've probably noticed that little kids observe everything, right? That's how their brain develops, by watching people, listening to conversations, and mimicking what they see. Now imagine what happens when screens replace real life interaction. Excessive screen time reduces real time interactions, which means their cognitive development slows down. Language skills develop slower because they aren't hearing as much as human speech around them. It can even affect how they process emotions. So it will lead to irritability and aggression. And that's why most kids throw intense tantrums. And that's not all of it. Screens overstimulate their developing brains. It means it affects their ability to focus, and you might notice sleep disturbances too. 6 to 10 years. At this stage, kids are learning social skills like how to make friends, talk to people, and understand emotions. This is when they really start shaping their personalities. The brain, especially the prefrontal cortex, is still growing, and this part of the brain is responsible for decision making, impulse control, and emotional regulation. It is what helps kids to think before they act and manage their emotions. Now, when kids spend too much time on screens, they miss out on face-to-face interactions. Without real-world play and social interaction, their brain development slows down. Areas like the parietal and temporal lobes, which help in understanding language and social cues, don't develop as they should. So, they may struggle to read emotions, pick up social cues, or even empathize with others. This can make it hard for them to form deep connections. And sometimes when you take away their devices, they may act out because they haven't developed proper impulse control. On top of that, the lack of physical activity and outdoor play can lead to anxiety, depression, and attention problems. 11 to 13 years. This stage is the pre-teen phase. This is a crucial time in their development as they are starting to figure out who they are. They're becoming individuals, developing their own personalities, and they're naturally curious about the world. But here's the catch. Too much screen time at this age interrupts that important discovery process. Pre-teens should be exploring the world around them, asking questions, and figuring things out through real-life experiences. Instead, if all their curiosity is funneled to a screen, then they are often exposed to content that is not appropriate for their age, which can confuse and overwhelm them. At this age, kids are already going through natural changes like mood swings and hormonal shifts. It's part of growing up, and it used to happen even before the age of screens. But now, with screens being overstimulating them, it can make these mood swings worse. The constant exposure to social media can heighten the feelings of insecurity and self-consciousness, leading to issues like low self-esteem and body image struggles. On top of that, they'll still face problems like attention issues, lack of focus, and sleep disturbances. The pressure to keep up with social media can add to their stress and make them feel even more overwhelmed. 14 to 18 years. This stage is when teens are growing into adults, learning self-control and building relationships. Their hormones are changing and they are starting to feel more independent, but too much screen time can mess with this balance. Teens are especially sensitive to social media pressures during these years. Because of hormonal changes, their brains are always looking for rewards like getting likes or comments online. The problem is, social media can make them feel lonely and even lead to addictive behavior. What starts as a normal scrolling can turn into hours of mindless use. Plus, since addiction might seem cool from the outside, teens are more likely to fall for it. They also begin to set unrealistic expectations, not just about life, but about themselves. Constantly comparing themselves to others online can damage their self-esteem and cause anxiety or even depression. So, what do we do with all this information? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not saying never let your kids use a phone or tablet. That's impractical. But now that you understand how screen time affects their development, you can make informed decisions. It's not about cutting off their screens entirely, it's about balance. So, teach them to be mindful of their screen time and help them grow in a way that prepares them for life, not just the virtual world. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or thoughts, drop them in the comments below.